Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow Room. Yo, overflow your room. And what have we here? We have an assortment of things by a whole bunch of different composers, but principally Kalkbrenner. Good old Kalkbrenner. Kalkbrenner was one of the great piano virtuosi at the beginning of the 19th century. He was around with Liszt and Thalberg and Pixis and, all of those people, those legendary piano names, Moscheles particularly, Moscheles, whatever you want to pronounce him. And we have here two concerti, his first and his fourth. Number one is in D minor. And it's actually, these are solid, large, half-hour-long works full of pianistic fireworks and some really good tunes. Number four is in a very strange key, A-flat major. I think Beethoven called A-flat major barbarous or something like that. He had some strange way of describing it. But these are fully developed works, brilliantly played, I might add, by Howard Shelley, who plays and conducts the Tasmanian Symphony Orchestra on Hyperion. Now, this is volume 41 of the Romantic Piano Concertos series, which may still be going on. They're up into the 80s or 90s now. I do so wish, now that someone else bought Hyperion, they would box it all up and reissue it, because it deserves to be celebrated and gone over bit by bit. If I had time, I would do every volume in this series individually and talk about them and play examples, which I'm not allowed to do because I'll get a copyright claim. But really, really fun stuff. So Kalkbrenner is someone worth getting to know. That's a lovely, lovely disc. Then, after Kalkbrenner, we've got Kalinnikov. Yes, Vasily Sergeyevich Kalinnikov, who had a very brief life. He lived from 1866 to 1901, and he wrote two symphonies. These are beautiful performances on Naxos with the National Symphony Orchestra of Ukraine under Theodore Kuchar, who, as you know, always does good work, and he does excellent work here. These are beautiful, beautiful works, lovely works. Gorgeous even. They're wonderfully promising pieces by a conductor full of talent, who died far too soon. Usually we always say, they died far too soon. Well, they didn't really do anything that's that interesting. But Kalinnikov was a real serious composer who could do excellent things. These are they sit in the edges of the repertoire. But we've talked about them quite a few times, and you can look up other videos we've done on Kalinnikov, and you'll see that, people who know these works are very passionate about them, because they really are extremely beautiful and effectively written. The slow movement of the first symphony is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, amazing. And you should get to know these pieces. They fit conveniently on a single disc. If you don't know them, get them and listen to them and learn to love them, because you will. So that's the Naxos recording with Theodore Kuchar. Here's the first symphony, with the USSR Symphony Orchestra and Svetlanov, recorded in 1975 in tolerable sound. This label is, who knows, good Lord, I've never even heard of this thing. It's called Graham Zappis. I don't think Graham Zappis exists anymore, but the recordings certainly do. They were Melodia, and they got pirated and licensed or whatever passes for that. And so here's the first symphony. An exciting performance, very, very good. And then we've got a bunch of Rimsky-Korsakov goodies here. The overture to the opera The Noblewoman Vera Shaloga, which is Boyarina Vera Shaloga. And then the overture to the Maid of Pskov, and the intermezzo from the Maid of Pskov, Act 1, and the other intermezzo from the Maid of Pskov, Act 2, the Tsar's Hunt. And finally, the Storm, a musical picture from Act 3 of The Maid of Pskov. Yes, we've heard enough of Pskov, haven't we? So there's that on Gramo Zappa, or whatever it's called, Graham Zappis Records. It's like gram-negative bacteria, And then we have this super duper cool disc of music by Robert Kajanus. Robert Kajanus was, Sibelius's Finnish booster, a conductor and composer. His style lived from 1856 to 1933. He sort of withdrew when Sibelius popped up on the scene and obliterated everybody else in Finnish music who was doing things. His style was post-Wagnerian romantic conservative, Germanic. There's nothing particularly ethnic or even distinctive about it, quite frankly. It's good, well-wrought music. It's fun to listen to. It's enjoyable. And this disc contains, basically, I think, probably the best of his orchestral works. Not that I would know, but it sounds like it does. We have the Finnish Rhapsody number 1 in D minor, Kullervo's Funeral March. Kullervo's Funeral March. Oh, this is so much fun. 15 minutes of Funeral March. The Sinfonietta in B-flat major from 1915, a charming neoclassical work. It has a tempo di minuetto in the second movement, and it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. And then his tone poem, I Know, who was Sibelius's wife. Actually, I Know was not Sibelius's wife. She's a Kalevala figure, but Sibelius's wife was named after her. There you go. And this was written in 1885 and revised in 1916. It's a symphonic poem for male chorus and orchestra. It's 14 minutes long, and like I said, it's sort of, Wagnerian, hot and heavy, and fun to listen to. Whether you want to listen to it over and over again, well, I put it in the Overflow Room for a reason. It was interesting. I wouldn't call it captivating. And I do so love to be captivated. But that's okay. It's worth hearing and worth listening to. So that is this little pile of Ks from the Overflow Room. Some of these are short because I either don't have tons of music by the composer, but I want them to get solo billing, or, there are just a lot of strange ephemeral K people. And so they get, their 15 minutes of fame, or in this case, their 5 minutes of fame, or whatever it is, and then we move on. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.